Namaskar, annyeonghaseyo. मैं हूं हर्ष and welcome again to our study in Korea series. And today we have somebody special, an admission coordinator of Korean University, who will tell you all about admission process in Korea. Everything you have been asking us in the comment box and every other stuffs, she will tell you all about it. So please watch the video carefully and hope it helps you all in the application process of Korean University. Let's directly go into the interview. 안녕하세요, Danbi Sam.
안녕하세요.
Yeah. How about you introduce yourself first, and then we will go to the questions part.
Hello everyone. My name is Danbi Kang, working at International Office at Chonnam National University. First of all, nice to meet you all of you. And today I'm going to introduce you about the admission procedures in Korea.
Thank you. So our first question for you is that is the admission process same for undergraduate and graduate students in Korean universities?
Actually, for undergraduate and graduate school admissions, they have a bit different procedures. Like for undergraduate, even the application period is different, and also the required document is different. But for applying for online process, it will be the similar.
Online process is similar, but documents and the period of
Application period it will be different for each programs.
and what students need to prepare for applying the application of Korean universities, and like what kind of documents they have to have and what other stuffs they need.
In my case, as I'm working at the Chonnam National University, I can just give you the example of our university.
Yeah.
Like for undergraduate program, first of all, the important thing is language ability.
Okay.
Without TOPIK, like a Korean language proficiency certificate or English language certificate, you cannot apply for undergraduate program in Korea.
Okay.
I think it's for everybody because it's how to say it was organized from the Ministry of Education. They asked all the universities to settle down the documentation, and then this is one of the requirement. So students
And
must have a language requirement.
what language proficiency they accept here in Korea? What, like TOEFL, IELTS,
Uh-huh.
anything else?
I prepare some documents for the language proficiency. Here, it's like a guideline from our university. Maybe I'm not sure whether you can see carefully.
Yes, it's a TOEFL 550.
It's
TAPS, TOEIC 700,
mhm,
CET 210, IBT 80, IELTS 5.5, yes, and TOEIC
yes.
700. Yeah.
Mm. These are the standard. In order to apply for the university, you have to have those kind of certificate. But in order to get admission, you have to have more than that actually, because you are you are competing with other students. So it's important for you to have the high language ability.
And what other documents other than the language proficiency for undergraduate, other than
In order to apply for the undergraduate program, first you have to apply from the online application form. 1 and 2, we have 1 and 2, and also the important documentation is the graduation certificate, high school graduation certificate, and also high school transcript, like the grade record. Those two documents are important, and other than that, you have to submit some forms like a personal statement, and what else? Next moment, I have all the required documents, but there are some of the requirement documents that it's different for each university.
okay.
And like here, like 16 documentations that you have to submit it in order to apply for undergraduate program, like
Okay.
forms that I mentioned already, language certificate, graduation certificate, transcript, and also the students who are transferring from other university to our university, then you also have to submit the university transcript and also university enrollment certificate. And also eligibility to apply for the international student admission, you have to submit the birth certificate, and also parents' passport or the citizenship certificate, and also your own passport And if you are staying in Korea, then you have to submit the language area registration card, something like that. There are 16 documentation that you have to submit in order to apply for undergraduate.
And how about the graduate students, people who are applying for masters and PhD here?
Actually, undergrad is much simpler than graduate school program. For masters and PhD, they have different documentation. As you know, for PhD students, they have to complete the masters, right? So they
Right.
have to have the master's graduation certificate, master transcript, and also bachelor degree transcript and bachelor degree graduation certificate in order to apply for the PhD. And for the language requirement, for the undergraduate program, actually you must have the language proficiency certificate in order to apply for undergraduate. But for the graduate program, it depending on the each department. In our university case, it's written in Korean, but they have the language ability for each department.
Okay.
They said like a KOR means Korean Language Proficiency Certificate, TOPIK Level 5. If you don't have TOPIK Level 5, it means you cannot apply for this department.
So
Something
I
like
think
that.
it depends on the department. Like if that department is teaching in Korean, that then they want the Korean proficiency, and then if they have the courses in English, then they want an English proficiency, like that. I think.
Mostly it's like this because anyway, if the department are accepting the students without the language certificate and they cannot teach them properly, right? So
Right.
usually the departments are mentioning about the language proficiency based on their curriculums.
And what about like
And
any specific document for extra document for graduate students? Like, do they also ask recommendation letter and like?
right, recommendation letter from the prospective professors from your own department that you are applying for, and also the passport will be the same, birth certificate and nationality certificate kind of, and the financial statement certificate. It depending on the students who are receiving the scholarship, then it can be covered as a financial statement as well. But you also
And
have to
what is
talk with
the
the
amount?
professor.
Is it same amount? Like, what is the amount they have to show for the financial certificate?
Actually, it's depending on the visa, it was related to
Okay.
visa
Okay.
issues. Like in
Mhm.
order to come Korea, you must have 18,000 US dollar in your account, right? For
Okay.
that,
18,000.
you have to prove that you have the 18,000 US dollar in order to come to Korea. Within what
In that person account, or also like parents are fine. Like in his parents.
parents are fine. Parents are fine. You have to write down the guardian's name and
Okay.
their positions or something like that. But you have to see the forms first, and then you have to fill out the forms. That's it.
Okay.
For the masters, as you're not applying for master, you have to have the bachelor's degree, like a graduation certificate, and also bachelor's transcript. Then you can apply for masters, and also it's same for the PhD and masters. You have to have the proper language proficiency depending on the department.
And is there any specific grade they look for in Korea? Like this much of marks you have in bachelor or masters for applying minimum marks?
You mean GPA?
GPA, yes.
No, they didn't mention about the specific
So
GPA
anyone
here.
can basically apply, and then they will go through. They
Uh,
will scrutiny the documents,
yes,
and then they will.
department will decide. The professor will decide the admission.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you. And when does this application start for both undergraduate and graduate degree? It is two times in a year, right?
Yes, 2 times in a year, but I cannot tell you the exact period
But
because
like
it can be
just
changed
around.
around for the spring semesters. We are gathering students around October to November.
Okay.
You have to check the website from September actually, and for the fourth semester you have to check the website from March
March.
to June, around March to June.
And like the first thing they will have to do is go through the online process, right? Like they
Yes,
have to
first
apply
they have to do
online,
the online. Yes.
and they also need to send the documents after that.
Of course, that's the important thing. Teachers here who are in charge of admission, they are receiving the document original one. They are receiving the original documents only.
Original, like in case of India, we get only one set of original documents. So
Mm-hmm.
what about
In
those
this
people?
case, you have to get the notarized one. You have to get notarized original one and send the original version of the notarized documentation to the school.
Okay, so they can send the notarized form. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because in case of India, they only get one set of all the documents. They cannot submit it. And I already asked about the English proficiency, which you said in some cases it is important, in some cases it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And for Korean, if it's needed in the department, they have to apply for the Korean proficiency or something like that. Like
You have to check the guideline, yes.
guideline. Like, do they also give some extra marks for, extra point for if you have a, like, it's not needed for the department, but if you have that certificate, do they give some extra marks point for that? Like checking the application, do they get some extra mark if they have the Korean proficiency or if they have the English proficiency in something?
Actually, that's the kind of eligibility, not extra point or something like that. But for the scholarship case, maybe they have some points for that because in order to give scholarship, they are checking all their academic records and also their language proficiency ability as well.
Okay. And you already mentioned a bit about the visa. Like what they will have to do after they get the admission letter, or like they get the admission, like it's confirmed that they got the admission in this university. What's the process for applying the visa?
Uh, Actually, I'm working at the university, so I cannot know about the specific process of the visa application.
Yeah.
But as long as I know, once students get the admission document, like admission letter from the school, then they have to prepare all other required documents which Korea Embassy are asking students to prepare.
Okay.
And then they have to submit the document to the embassy, then they will get visa and they will enter to Korea.
So it, like you mentioned about the, like some money, some amount in the bank, if they get the scholarship and any specific scholarship, for example, KGSP or any other scholarship from university, do they also have to show the proof of the money in their account at that time, or
Actually,
it's
it can be the school will also send not only the admission letter. If students are receiving the scholarship, then we are sending the scholarship certificate as well, and it can be same as a financial statement.
okay? Okay.
If students are receiving in 1 year, they are receiving like 18,000 US dollar, then they can also show the scholarship certificate instead of the bank balance certificate.
Okay. And how about, like, you are already working in a university? So how about the dormitory process? Do they need to apply before coming to Korea, or they apply after coming here? What's the
For the freshmen, we usually from the Office of International Affairs, the coordinators will usually help students to apply for the dormitory because even though the website is in English, students cannot understand properly, right? So for the freshmen, we are helping them to apply for the dormitory, like asking their personal information, and then we are sending the information to the dormitory office. But for the enrolled students, as they are already in Korea, they can check the process because they already been through it. So that's why for the enrolled students, they are doing by themselves through the
okay?
website.
Okay. And these were all the, like, normal questions about all the basic university questions. Like, you're doing your admission coordinator at Chonnam National University, right? So do you recommend your university to other students, like Indian students, to come here? And if you recommend, what is so special about Chonnam?
Actually, I was the one who graduated from Chonnam.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I have some pride about our university. We have really beautiful campus compared to other universities, and our campus ranked in the top three biggest campus within Korea, like
Oh,
national universities. And also we have good professors who can teach students really well. Like some of the professors who taught in the U.S. Harvard University, and they came to our university to other teaching other Korean students as well, like facilities and others kind of facilities are really good in our university as well. So I think if you come to Chonnam, and also the Office of International Affairs, our teachers are helping international students. Like we are willing to help you guys. So I think if you come Korea, then we can help you with other stuff.
and if somebody is coming to the university, by self-financed base. So do they also get like some method where they can pay the fees in installment or something like that? Is that like some facility there in Channam?
Yes, of course. We have the instrumental system. Like for the freshmen, they have to pay all amount at the same time. But once you enter to the university, you can divide the tuition fee into 4 times. So like
Okay.
students who are coming here without like scholarships or anything, then they can divide it into 4 times. And also for undergraduate students, we have a lot of scholarship programs. Like students from like supported by OECD countries. We have the scholarship for that country students. So like if you are studying really hard, then we can even give you full amount of scholarship when you
Oh,
enter to the
that's nice.
university. And also there's academic excellence scholarship, and there's a GK scholarship provided from the NIIED. The students who are coming here with their own support. And not only this, there are a lot of opportunities in Korea. So if you come and if you are studying really hard, then opportunities on you. And also for the graduate school program as well, we have a lot of scholarship. Like when you enter, like if you have a topic like a Korean language proficiency certificate, you can also get scholarship for that. And also research scholarship and other stuff. Like if you discuss with a professor, like before coming to Korea, then professor also can guide you related to scholarship programs as well. So there are lots of opportunities, but you have to do research.
Right. So yeah, any personal recommendation from your side, the people who are applying in Korea or want to study in Korea, what is your recommendation to them?
I saw many of the students like they are willing to come Korea. Their ambitions and others are really high. Like they are looking for the Korea. Korea is like a dream country or something like some of them, and they come here and some of them they just disappointed because it was the different view from their own thought from their own country. So I just want you to know, like before coming to Korea, as you are coming to other country, I want you to learn about the cultures of Korea before coming here, in order to not face the culture like
Oh,
barriers
yeah,
with Korean people and other international students. And also like learning language is really important before coming here. Even though you're coming here with English language certificate, like you have to live in Korea, so you have
right.
to know the living conditions, like living, how to say, like
Survival
some,
Korean. Survival.
yes, yes, like survivor Korean kind of. So I want you to learn before coming here, and not just coming here like, okay, I will go to Korea and I will just hanging out with friends or something like that. Once you think that you will come here for study, then you have to study here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Thanbi Sam, for giving your precious time. And I think it will surely help other people who are applying to universities in Korea. Thank you so much.
No problem, Harsh. I hope the other Indian students can come our university and we'll see each other in the camp on the campus. Actually, I forgot to say that like if you wanted to see the students' life of Chonnam National University, you can also check our official Instagram account. And also, I have my own account. You can look through it because I also hanging out with a lot of international students in Korea in Gwangju. So if you are interested in that, then you can also look through my Instagram and also Chonnam OI account. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Thanvi Sam is very famous among international students in Chonnam National University. So you can check her Instagram and see how friendly she is with other international students. And you can also come and she will be as friendly with you. Thank you.